Crisis erupts among doctors over visit to Buhari's. Matters arising. A cold war brewing between the National Association of Resident Doctors of Nigeria (NARD) and its parent organization, the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA). The two bodies at each other's throats over the later recent visit to President Muhammadu Buhari. In a letter mailed to the ICIR on Tuesday, the NMA accused NARD of making mischievous comments over its visits to the president. The association said NARD was unhappy because he was not part of the team that met Buhari. The NMA also alleged that NARD had consistently refused to carry the parent's body along in their critical decision-making process. In the statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary Ainikeme Wa, the NMA said its constitution did not compel it to go to NARD whenever it made such a visit. Reacting to the letter, the NARD president said he did not hear from NMA that his leaders would visit Buhari. He said the meeting would have allowed him to table NARD's demand before the president. NARD has been on strike for 44 days across the country over unmet demands. Okioyesui said he was not at war with the enemy. The enemy president is my senior. He's my teacher. Why would I have a war against him? What I'm interested in is to get governments to pay the salaries of my people, he said. He added that the NMA called NARD for a meeting last Sunday, a day after meeting Buhari, and his group disagreed with the NMA's position. In this letter, the NMA said that it was the custom of its newly elected leaders to visit the nation's president. The source reports that NMA elected its leaders, headed by Innocent Uja, a professor who visited Buhari 16 months ago, that was May 2020, and the leader served a 2-year term. In its statement titled The Visit of the NMA to President Buhari, the senior doctor said the visit to the State House was the first by the present National Officers Committee (NOC) since the election on May 30th, 2020. The visit, though was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic that ravaged humanity, especially in 2020, was in line with the tradition of newly elected officers of the association to pay a courtesy call on the president of the country after their election. The NMA said the composition of delegation of such visits was exclusively a prerogative of its president and could be extended to include other members of the association, depending on the number approved by the State House protocol officials. Protocol officers at the State House restricted the visitor to only 50 members to allow for social distancing in line with the COVID-19 pandemic control protocols, the NMA said. Therefore, the allegation by the president of NARD, one of the 8 affiliates of the association, that he was sidelined is incorrect and mischievous, therefore should be taken with a pinch of salt. Rather, if such insinuation should be made, it should be the other way round, as the president of the said affiliate has consistently refused to carry the parent's body along in a critical decision-making process, the NMA claimed. Nevertheless, the NMA said the accusations would continue to work for the overall interest of all doctors' groups in the country. It also called on any tier of government that had not met NARD's demands to do so. The NARD has been on strike since August 2nd, and all efforts to persuade or compel it back to work, including a court order to that effect, have been futile. Following a meeting convened by the Minister of Labour and Employment with NARD on August 31st, the NMA, which was present at the meeting, signed an MOU on behalf of NARD. But NARD walked away from the meeting when called to sign the agreement and disowned the agreement. In what the section of the Nigerian public saw as a further demonstration of its support for the striking doctors, the NMA had a fortnight ago given a federal government a 21-day ultimatum to meet NARD's demand, failure of which the association said it would decide on appropriate actions to take against the government. Wow. A lot is really going on between the NMA and NARD. Comment down below on what you think. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe and share. Thank you.